Good morning. Another day for a daily painting. This is a series where I show up every day to show the accountability for my mission, which is um, create. To create. I haven't created for some time, and this is my way to returning back to my previous form. We are doing here a concept sketches, and today I'm working on another painting from the series called Unseen Forces, which I dig into the idea of energy that surrounds us and animates all the living and non-living beings um, on this planet and beyond that in universe. So this is also a topic which relaxes me and helps me to open. Um, I'm currently, I did already like 4 or 5 paintings from this series, but today I'm doing another one which is this painting, this concept. I'll try to make sure it's visible this one that I'm tapping on with the finger. And the idea behind this concept is that we have, like yesterday, I was creating more linear perception of art. Today, I'm working in between a fading and lines. Hopefully, it's going to work out. I don't have much time today because I'm hurrying up because I have to go on the train. I'm traveling to the Poland, to my homeland, where I will also create, hopefully, while looking at the water. We working first with a neon ink underpaint. It's kind of my favorite way to start now. It's very, makes you feel like you're doing something different. I kind of recommend to everyone to get outside the comfort zone and try a different way of starting your painting that energizes you. And this is, for me, this is definitely a case with a neonic paint. As you can see, the lines of the sketch are still visible, which is fantastic. Okay. 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 What is good about working with underpaint is that you don't have that fear as you have with a blank canvas, that you're afraid of first mark. Like the painting is not your enemy. It's not here to dominate your confidence. It's here because it's a place where you put your story, what is inside of you, out. Maybe sometimes you don't know what is inside of you, and that's why it feels like it's dominating you. But this is why we create every day, and this is why we are sketching our ideas. Today I will start. Today, sorry, I will start a little bit different. Let's see. Starting with the pastels. I had neighbors on the other balcony, so it kind of, takes my confidence a little bit away, but I will try to make the most out of it. I get this fancy mic, which helps me to really tune in. The sound, so it's a little bit AMSR. We're gonna see. It's definitely a beautiful journey every day. So I'm working now with the pastel because the pastel allows me to make a sketch one more time, and now I can be slightly more precise with those lines. There's so many ways to really go about the linear work. You can do it at the beginning, you can do it in the end. Instead of pastels, you can switch to the markers, acrylic markers, which is really awesome too, way of dealing with I'm having those swirls here because those are like pockets of energy that I'm excited about. It's kind of, for me, it's like every painting is like a conversation with the previous one, especially when I work in a series. I'm covering a little bit of canvas because I try to speak closer to the mic, but hopefully everything is fine. Let me just tilt it here. Yeah, maybe that will allow me to be show more canvas in this way. Very good. I have amazing session in the gym this morning, and this allows me to actually relax my muscles now. I'm not so tense. Funny, nobody talks about that, how the gym, going to the gym, it could be very beneficial for an artist, you know? It can allow you to relax your fingers and also relaxes your brain because you already did a hard push today. And art doesn't need to be hard. Art can be a very soothing, relaxing practice. Which allows us to tap into the meaning behind the painting quite more. At least for this type of a series, you know, if I will paint something more tuned to the emotions that I want to release connected with stress or anger, probably I would do the painting before the gym. That makes sense, right? I think so too. You know what? Oh, maybe I'll remember now to put my glass hour. God, I have 1 hour, less than 1 hour. I need to pack still. How to put it so you can guys see it, and so it doesn't fall. Maybe this is a quest for another session tomorrow. Okay. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. I'm not sure if you can guys see it. Maybe exposure is a little bit too high. I changed some settings on the camera because last time it was going super dark and I have to walk to camera to change the settings. So right now I'm on the aperture priority, which is supposed to, you know, balance your exposure, and hopefully that supports a clear image while I'm painting and you can see it. Doesn't matter what's happening. Okay, so I love it actually. I love this stage. Somehow I could leave it like that, to be honest. So I'm just gonna snap a photo because it is so raw. That's almost beautiful in some way. can see that some influences of me looking at other artists' work show up here in this painting. I'm talking about Munch. Munch. I've been at his museum. But this is another story for another video. One more time. Go snap photo. Oh, you can see that I'm like excited about the painting. It's not that I'm excited that I did it actually, but I'm excited that the process of letting out is happening, and I'm not afraid. Okay, so next step of this painting is to create changing the colors from the top, because we want to give it a little bit depth. The idea is that middle will be lighter, which is top, and the bottom would be slightly darker, and then we're going to do a small fade. In order to do that, we need to choose the paint that is more the yellow. Oh, I have nothing here left. It's okay. It's okay. We can come back to it. I love acrylic paints. They're really good if you are doing fast paintings. Kind of want a tint of orange in it. So I have this Naonic pink orange. Let's see what's gonna happen if I'm gonna add it. Super cool. Look at that combo. I forget that is prioritizing to focus on my face. Oh, that was a score. Super, yeah. Water. Super exciting. You know, this video is also, pardon, I was thinking today and it's totally, I'm not good at it, but it is fun and it changes my voice tone. And what I wanted to say that working with small concept sketches, now I can go with those videos in the back, you know, back in time, and I can see my process of creating them, analyze the mistakes that I did. Mistakes are quote-to-quote mistakes, and use this similar approach in order to create a big painting, because you know sometimes it's stressful that you need to remember every step that you did before you created something, and then when it comes to the big one, you're like, holy shit, I don't remember anymore. Yeah, and then you're making unhappy accidents. Unhappy accidents. So this is really cool. remember when I was talking yesterday about the dry brush. Here you have a taster of it. Why I'm using dry brush now? Because when I used the pastels before, you know, those sticks, they leave the actual pastels, which is funny. So I'm mixing acrylic with oil. I'm gonna see. They say it's not the best idea, but the dry brush allows me to smudge them. They're already kind of dry. And the brush allows me to move them slightly more, so they like look like a moved with a dry finger, if you know what I mean. Dry finger technique. Not fun. So they say. So we got that. I'm working on the center part of the painting. We are 18 minutes in. Well, before I was doing much more orange color. Now I'm actually adding a more pure yellowish. Not pure because I'm mixing it with a little bit of neon green. And neon green is really like interesting pigment. I don't know what is inside of it, but I know that it's has a brighter tone and I have a tint of the green on it. And this changes it from the typical yellow, sorry, and orange too. So it gives a slightly more interesting vibe. I still somehow feel like tonality-wise I'm working with very similar tone to that orange because my primary was my previous color and primary mixed was the same tint of the yellow from the tube. So when I was there with neon pink, now I use the neon green with that same yellow, so I'm having the same tonality, if that makes sense. So the painting might seem flat, but it have variations of the color, which is fantastic because it's more interesting to look at in the end, especially when the paint dries. It lets these tones out. But I need to actually work faster. I'm used to oil painting, and this is a problem because I want to actually actively mix those pockets of color. So I have this pastel color that I have from yesterday, and I'm gonna add again a little bit of that green. I noticed that I use too much paint sometimes, and it's hard to know. You know what? I made a mistake because I'm using too big brush now, and I'm trying to fill the pockets. Fill the pockets of the of that color. So what I'm gonna do is to put this big brush into the water, and I'm doing it because I'm not sure if the audio is right. Be cool if the mic could like move with me, you know, it would be a next level. You could say, yeah, just put it on your clothing. I don't like it on my clothing so much because the quality is not as I would like to. My voice, especially, I cannot. And then like I'm like fucking everything. I'm not still, as you can see. It's like I can make a movement all the time is the way for me. Okay, last time I did have this way of doing this beautiful lighter tint of the highlights, and I'll try to approach it the same way. How much we are with the time? I'm checking. 24 minutes. I need a timer. I sense. No, it's fine. It's what it is. It's what it is, guys. Sometimes when you push already some paint, it feels odd to stop it, you know? Something is not going my way, so I'm gonna switch technique. To more kind of more impasto-y, which is finger technique. I'm working on this. I'm trying to merge the highlights into the painting. And it is a slow game. But very satisfying, I might say so. You know, this is funny because this color I left yesterday night, like just covered slightly with another plastic plate, and some of the water evaporated from it, making the texture almost oily, which is a very interesting observation, because when you will try at some point give your painting a much more oil-like texture to the paint, maybe that's the way to do it. You know, like you have overnight oats and they taste better. Maybe the overnight acrylic is also a way to go. One thing I'm not exactly happy is that I'm actually using my fingers and can be unhealthy. But thanks God it's a smaller painting, so I can really not pay too much attention. For now, I will adapt in the future more smarter way to deal with this problem. Okay, this is good. This is good. Now I can get that faded effect quite more easier. Oh, I love it. I love it. It brings me tremendous amount of joy. This one, any of them brings me joy, but this one has a particular flow to it. It's like I think I'm gonna explore more technically uh, similar concepts, like another variations of this style. It's funny because I'm working with very similar a very similar palette to my reference, and I'm glad. I'm glad because sometimes like doing something different than you intended is an you know lack of patience. And this I'm patient with it, and I'm moving fast. How much time we're in? Half an hour. Okay, we need to speed up. So the idea is that energy like flows and it meets its center point. I mean culmination point in the form of that circle here. Yeah. Okay, what I'm gonna add now is this neonic paint direction. Need to move very soon to adding slightly more darker contrast at the bottom of the painting and onto my like energetic hills, if I may say so. Right now, I'm just trying to say those points. I changed it slightly because the other one had a more okay, and now we need to switch the paint tool. This bad boy, which is a darker orange. This bad boy, and we need that tint of this brown. That green. Okay, I'm trying to move fast now because the point of adding that contrast is to make the main composition to stand out in the center. It's like almost like a vignette in the pictures. It's like if I would have a more time, I kind of actually would probably use a brushwork to fade more elements. make it more smooth, but at this point it's not so essential, because after all this is a sketch. It's a validation of the idea, so just the fact of putting this contrast here could be enough to decide on the level of intensity of that vignette on the larger big size painting. It's totally fine. Okay, see, now we are like rated at N. The only problem is it's slightly, it's good. We're gonna just do a final add-ons of those color inside of the composition, so the tones don't feel like so explicitly disassociated from the painting, you know? So it can feel like, oh, very, this tone is moving in, it has its own place inside of the painting. It's very delicate additions. I mean delicate. A very I don't know how to say it in English. Very not reluctant, but very fine measured, or I need to actually look into the dictionary. But yeah, this is great. This is great. Finally, our painting has a depth to it. A discussion between where the energy should move on, where it should go. Now looking at it, I'm finished. I think we did it. I think now when I added that contrast, we have that discussion of moving energy, and it decides by itself where they want to go, but we kind of sense it has some purpose and direction through that composition. It also proposes an idea of movement that is relative to the perception. You know, it kind of feels like it could go from inside of this tunnel, pocket of energy outside, or it could go from outside to inside. And that makes that dynamic in which you are as a spectator becoming one with it.